Welcome to Arcane Moon Tarot. Today, under the quiet pull of unseen tides, we open the cards to ask a question many hearts carry in silence. Will we get back together? This is a 6-card spread that will go deep, not into vague emotions or empty hope, but into the real threads that still tie you both, or have already unraveled. Whether you're here for clarity, closure, or a spark of truth, you'll get direct insight. No sugarcoating, no mystical fluff, just you, the truth, and the cards. Let's begin. Welcome to Arcane Moon Tarot. Today, under the quiet pull of unseen tides, we open the cards to ask a question many hearts carry in silence. Will we get back together? This is a 6-card spread that will go deep, not into vague emotions or empty hope, but into the real threads that still tie you both, or have already unraveled. Whether you're here for clarity, closure, or a spark of truth, you'll get direct insight. No sugarcoating, no mystical fluff, just you, the truth, and the cards. Let's begin. Right now, you're in a state of waiting, but it's not passive. You're standing on the edge of something, watching the horizon, wondering if all the effort you've put in will pay off. If they'll come back, if something will shift. You're not obsessed or desperate, but you're definitely hoping. You might even feel like you've already done your part, reached out, made your feelings clear, or shown some growth. And now you're just watching to see what comes back. You believe the door is still open, and part of you expects them to return eventually. You're emotionally at a distance. You're not chasing them, not pushing, but you're not moving on either. It's like you're trying to be mature about it, keeping space, focusing on your own stuff, but still checking the horizon. In practice, that might look like watching their social media, replaying old conversations, or planning what you'd say if you saw them again. You haven't let go. You're just trying not to grab too tightly. There's still hope here, not blind hope, but strategic. You believe that something could still grow from this, and you're willing to wait for it. As long as it doesn't ruin you in the meantime. You're probably thinking in long-term terms. Maybe not now, but one day. You might feel like the breakup was incomplete, like something wasn't resolved. And so you're standing in that gap, waiting for resolution or reunion. The truth is, waiting too long without action can easily turn into emotional limbo. You tell yourself you're being patient, but ask yourself, are you really still growing? Or are you pausing your own life hoping they'll circle back? 3 of Wands is about potential, but potential means nothing if it's not followed up with movement. If you're putting your life on hold for this person, that's not hope. That's self-sabotage in disguise. Your energy is open, optimistic, and not hostile, which does help keep a connection alive. If this person were to return, you'd be emotionally ready. But you're also putting the ball entirely in their court. That means if anything is going to happen, it won't come from you. And that might slow things down or leave things hanging indefinitely if they're not taking initiative either. This person is holding everything in with serious self-control. They're feeling more than they're showing, and they're actively choosing not to act on those feelings right now. Strength is a card of inner tension, not detachment. They're not over you, but they're also not letting themselves reach out, break down, or show any emotional vulnerability. Their approach is to tame their impulses, keep their pride intact, and handle it like an adult, which in their mind probably means silence and restraint. A huge part of their current energy is about self-protection. They may believe that reaching out would make them look weak, or they might be afraid that rekindling things would just reopen the same wounds. If your past together included emotional intensity, conflict, or moments where they felt small, ashamed, or out of control, they're scared of repeating that. So instead of engaging, they're trying to stay composed, dignified, and detached, even if it's exhausting. Make no mistake, there are still strong feelings here. Strength only appears when someone's trying to keep their emotions in check. There's a quiet fire behind this card. They might still think about you constantly, miss you in private, or even check on you from afar. But their approach is all about endurance. Don't cave, don't reach out, don't fall apart. Even if a part of them wants to reconnect, another part is gripping the reins and saying, "Don't do it." Pride and fear, and they're wrapped together. This person wants to be the one who has it together. They don't want to seem needy or emotional. They might even think that giving it space is the mature thing to do. They're likely thinking, if it's meant to be, it'll come back naturally. But underneath that calm surface is someone who's struggling to accept the loss, or is deeply conflicted about whether to re-engage at all. They feel conflicted, but they've chosen silence as their strategy. They won't admit they still care unless they're sure it's safe to do so. If you two had a power imbalance or ego struggles before, they're especially unlikely to reach out first. They might be waiting for a sign from you, but they'll never say that out loud. They're trying to look like they've moved on, but they haven't fully. At the core, what still links you two is this quiet, mutual feeling that it's not over. The Fool is the card of beginnings, and when it shows up in this position, it means there's still an open road between you. No door is fully closed. Both of you, in your own way, are leaving just enough emotional space for something to restart. The bond that remains isn't based on old patterns. It's the potential of what this could be if you started fresh. There's something innocent, even playful, still alive between you, even if it's buried under hurt or silence. Your connection never fully matured or reached its full potential. The Fool suggests that it either ended too soon or never had a chance to stabilize, like something was almost there, but not quite. Because of that, both of you are left with what-if energy. You may not trust each other entirely, but the emotional baggage hasn't hardened either. There's a clean slate feeling to this card. It's like neither of you has fully rewritten the story. You're still holding on to the idea that the next chapter could be different. Despite everything, there's still a softness between you. Even if you fought, even if things ended suddenly or awkwardly, neither of you is really angry anymore. There's a kind of lightness, like if one of you reached out, the other wouldn't slam the door. The Fool keeps the energy loose, unfinished, curious. It's not weighed down by resentment. Even in silence, there's still emotional oxygen in the room. This card is strong evidence that the connection isn't dead. It says, this story could still go somewhere if someone dares to take the first step. Neither of you has fully moved on. You may be living separately, doing your own thing, but the emotional permission to reconnect is still there. There's no heavy karma, no impossible obstacle here, just hesitation, fear, or pride. The Fool says, if one person took a risk, the energy would shift instantly. The shadow of the Fool is emotional immaturity, and it may be that one or both of you still fears repeating the same mistakes. There's chemistry, curiosity, and potential, but not a lot of structure. That means that even if you get back together, unless things are different this time, it could fall apart again quickly. The connection is alive, but it needs intention and growth to survive. The biggest block between you isn't emotion, it's security, control, and values. The King of Pentacles is someone who needs structure, consistency, and to feel like they're building something real. One of you, or both, may have high expectations about what love should look like. And if the relationship didn't feel secure, productive, or practical, that alone could have killed it. This card shows that someone couldn't tolerate chaos, uncertainty, or not feeling in control of the relationship. That person may now be unwilling to take emotional risks unless they're absolutely sure it's safe and worthwhile. This card often represents someone who has hardened emotionally, not because they don't care, but because they feel like caring isn't useful. There's a real sense of, if this can't lead to something serious, stable, or successful, I won't waste my time. It can also point to pride or stubbornness. The King of Pentacles doesn't bend easily. And if the relationship challenged someone's sense of self-worth, finances, career path, or independence, they may have chosen distance over discomfort. Emotional vulnerability takes a back seat to pride and image here. Another issue here is likely a misalignment in goals or life stages. The King of Pentacles wants commitment, long-term planning, and results. If one of you was more spontaneous, emotional, or undefined in your direction, that would have created friction. There may have been an imbalance between someone who wanted to build a future and someone who was still figuring themselves out. Even now, this card suggests one person is focused on career, money, or getting their life together, and romance might not feel like the priority. There might also be practical, material world things keeping you apart: work, distance, responsibilities, or expectations from family or culture. This is a card of real-world barriers. Even if the heart still wants the connection, the mind says, how would this even work? If one person is financially focused or locked into a rigid lifestyle, they may have decided that the relationship doesn't fit into the life they're trying to build. The King of Pentacles can also mean that one of you is simply too stubborn to admit fault, make the first move, or soften. If the breakup involved pride, ego, or a need to be right, this person won't budge unless they're 100% sure it's worth it. There's a deep fear of vulnerability hiding behind that mask of composure. Justice is a no-nonsense card. It shows that in the very near future, there will be a moment where both of you are forced to face the truth of what really happened. No more hiding behind excuses, pride, or vague hope. This isn't about fantasy or what you wish would happen. This is about what's fair, what's honest, and what makes sense. A real conversation might happen soon, or at the very least, a shift in mindset where both of you reevaluate the connection in brutally honest terms. Justice is not emotional. It's rational, even cold. It suggests that one or both of you will make a clear decision about whether this relationship deserves another chance or not. No more lingering in the in-between. It might be a serious talk, a final closure, or even a clean attempt to restart. But it'll be based on facts, not feelings. If there's a reunion, it will be structured, intentional, and come with boundaries. If there's a separation, it will be definitive. No gray area. This card shows that someone, possibly both of you, wants the truth. If you hurt each other in the past, this time the emotional mess won't be swept under the rug. The person who was more hurt, more abandoned, or more misled is going to want answers. You can't avoid responsibility anymore. If there's to be a new beginning, it will only happen after clear ownership of past behavior and a mutual agreement to do things differently. Justice cools everything down. Don't expect romantic gestures or emotional outpourings right now. What comes next will be thoughtful, measured, and possibly even distant. But that's not a bad thing. It means the situation will be handled with maturity instead of chaos. If there is communication, it might feel stiff or overly formal, but it will be important. The outcome of that talk or decision will determine what's next, and it won't leave you in limbo. This card doesn't guarantee a comeback, but it guarantees clarity. If you do get back together, it'll be because both of you have owned your part and chosen each other with full awareness. If not, it'll be because you finally realize that the connection isn't built on something sustainable. Either way, the next phase is clean, conscious, and truthful. The Queen of Swords doesn't play pretend, and she doesn't cling to hope for the sake of comfort. When this card shows up as your final outcome, it means that clarity will win, not emotion. And the truth she brings? This connection likely won't return in a romantic, committed way, not because there's no care left, but because at least one of you will recognize that the emotional cost of trying again is higher than the reward. It's the card of wisdom earned through pain and walking away with your dignity intact. This card marks the moment where feelings stop clouding judgment. If you've been wondering, replaying things, or hoping they'll come back around, the Queen of Swords says, you'll get the answer, and it won't leave you confused. You'll stop fantasizing about what could be and see what actually is. You might even talk to this person again, but if so, it will be a cool, boundary-heavy conversation. No warmth, no promises. If you were hoping for a soft, emotional reunion, this isn't that. The Queen of Swords is often someone who speaks a final truth. That could be you, them, or both of you admitting that the love is there, but the situation isn't right anymore. A conversation could happen that brings closure, not reconciliation. The tone will be direct. Things will be said that maybe should have been said a long time ago. But after that, it's likely one or both of you walks away more certain than ever that this chapter is finished. You, or they, will choose yourself. That might mean choosing peace over drama, clarity over confusion, independence over compromise. Even if part of you still loves this person, the Queen of Swords won't let herself be in something half-formed or emotionally risky anymore. You may finally hit that turning point where you say, I deserve better than waiting. There's too much pride, too many hard lessons, and not enough softness left between you to allow a real reconnection. You both may care, but neither of you is willing to crack open the walls anymore. Especially if you've already tried to make it work and it failed, this card suggests there won't be a second or third round. The Queen of Swords doesn't entertain the past twice. Final answer. Will we get back together? No. This connection is reaching its clean, honest end. You're both still energetically tied in small ways. A little hope here, a little feeling there, but the cards are clear. What's ahead is not a reunion, but a decision to move on with self-respect. You'll get the clarity you're craving, either through a conversation or a moment of personal truth. But emotionally, the road is closing, and it's time to stop waiting. Would you like help with how to let go, or how to prepare for this clarity when it comes?